Dear students, I welcome you all once again for Sociology Chapter 4, Social Problem. We'll continue the lesson Part 2. Here we are going to discuss some of the very important social problems witnessed in India. Firstly, we will talk about female foeticide. Here you are seeing the picture. Let us know more about this. What is the meaning of female feticide? Female feticide, it is an attempt to stop the natural growth of the female fetus in the womb of a mother or aborting the fetus forcibly. That is, destruction which is done to the fetus when it is in the womb of the mother. It is very difficult to have definite statistics on this burning social problem, but we come across this and it shows that the existence of female feticide is very common in India. The ratio of the children between 0 to 6 years has gone down between 1961 to 1980 because of this social problem. As per the census report of 2001, the female child ratio for every 1000 boy was 933, but in 2012 it was 940. But between the age of 0 to 6 years, the number was 914 for every 1000 boys. Here is a picture. You can see how the fetus is in the womb of the mother. When an attempt is made to kill this small fetus, it is referred as a female feticide. Side refers to killing. We say suicide. Sui means self. Side means killing. Similarly, infanticide we say. Infant means baby. Side refers to killing. When the baby is killed, it is called infanticide. When a person kills himself, it is called suicide. But here, when the small fetus is killed, when it is in the womb of the mother, it is called as a female feticide. In India, around 1600 girls are disappearing every day. It is very shocking, and this means around 6 lakh girls are missing every year. According to some surveys, it says that around 100 million girl children are lost in India even to this day. As per the report of 1991, there were 960 women for every 1000 men. But in 2001 census, it says that it has increased to 965. But in the age group of 0 to 6 years, the number has decreased alarmingly. In 1991, there were 960 girls for every 1000 boys. From regional perspective, when we look into this problem, 80% of the newborn children are died in the cities, whereas 69% are died in the village areas. As per the National Health Survey 3 report, it says that in the last 10 years, mortality rate, what is the meaning of mortality? Mortality refers to the death rate of the male child was 53.6, whereas the female was 34.6%, and this death rate of the male child after the birth is 16.5%, whereas the girl is 19.3%. This indication or this statistics tells us very clearly that in the Indian society there is an intolerance towards the girl child. There is an increased rate in the female feticide. So here is a small baby inside the womb of the mother. Here is a beautiful question. We need mother, we need sister, we need wife. Why not a daughter? So it is the duty of every people in India to save the girl child. So the life expectancy of female is always more than the male. But children mortality, that is the death of the children rate is more compared to the boys. The death rate of the girl is more in India. What is the main reason? And the reason found out here is the failure of various nutritional programs devised at the ground level. So it is a duty of everyone to stop female feticide, and it is important to ensure equal rights to the women in the society. Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act was introduced, which is called PCPNDT in the year 1994, mainly with the intention of preventing such incident. In spite of all these measures, we can see that female feticide is not being curbed to the desired extent. This is more we can see in the middle class, upper middle class, and even in the educated class of people in India. Female feticide is taking place more especially among the economic affluent class. Affluent refers to the rich people who are well-to-do. They are the people who kill the female babies in the womb of the mother. The root of this evil can be seen even in the concept of property inheritance also, and even when we take the other social problems like dowry, exploitation from the husband family, sexual harassment within the family, and even in the public spaces, it gives us very clear that there is a complex along with the cultural issue of property inheritance. The girls will not be given property. They are denied in the property rights. So the prevalence of patriarchal values, that is the male dominated society, male is considered as high compared to the girl. They are all the main reasons for the existence of this female feticide. So what is the important step to be taken? We have to stop this female feticide. We have to stop killing the small girl baby in the womb of the mother. Now let us see another important social problem which exists in India, that is about hunger and malnutrition. Here is a picture. You can see a handful of rice is required to many hands over here. When there is hunger more which we see in India, not only this problem, along with this hunger there is also a malnutrition among the small babies. Let us know more about these two concepts. The Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, one of the agencies of UNO, it has calculated the food need of a human being on day-to-day basis in terms of calories. Medical sociology studies, it has also indicated that calorie which is required for the individual will work on the nature and minimum requirements. What is the meaning of hunger? We use this word very commonly. But the actual meaning of the word hunger here refers to, it is a state where the necessary calorie of food is not available for an individual. An individual needs a requisite quantity of protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamins and salt. Food does not mean just eating whatever we get it. So the food what we eat should contain all these qualities. If these requirements are not fulfilled in the food, then it is called as a invisible hunger. The poor people, they lose both calories as well as nutrition due to hunger. According to FAO, in India, every individual needs at least 1820 calories of food. Any person who receives less than 1632 calories of food is considered as a person who is suffering from hunger and malnutrition. So here is a picture, Global Hunger Index in the 2020. So here is a picture which is very pitiable. A small food is shared by many hungry girls and many hungry children over here. So let us learn about another important concept. What is hunger index? Hunger has different existence. It is felt in the absence of required quantity of food. Another way is that if the absence of required nutrition that result in the various health complications can also result in the physical handicap, that is the result of hunger. The premature death will also reflect the absence of required nutrition. Hence it is very necessary that proper food has to be taken up. Hunger index is a situation which is created based on the available facts to understand the extent of hunger in the human society. The following is the index of hunger. The hunger index is the total of all the three aspects and it is divided by the numeral 3. That is the equation we can see. The first one, the average of people who receive less than minimum calorie of food which is required. Already we said what is the calorie of food which is required for an individual. Secondly, the average of children who are below 5 years of age and underweight. Thirdly, the mortality rate of the children below 5 years of age. Mortality means the death rate of the children. So hunger index is equivalent to all these three aspects, which is divided by the numeral 3. What we get is called as a hunger index. Based on this index, the World Bank has identified that India has a number of children who are suffering from hunger and malnutrition, and it is also considered that there are number of underweight children in India, and it has also a relationship with infant mortality rate, that is the death of the children, child mobility rate, fertility rate and economic development rates. According to the Global Hunger Index, India occupies 20th place in the ranking. This shows that there is a severity of the hunger in India. So here is a picture. You can see the tragedy or the important social problem, that is the hunger, can be seen among the poor children, how they are suffering to get a handful of food. Now, what is the meaning of malnutrition? As per the National Family Health Survey 4 NFHS 4 of 2011, the women in Karnataka, especially in the village areas, they have a body mass index which is shortly called BMI 24.3, whereas the city women or the urban women have the BMI of 16.2. That is 60.9% of the children between 6 months to 56 months of age, they are suffering from anemia. Anemia means lack of blood content in their body. 45.2% in the pregnant women are suffering from anemia, and the problem of the mother will also be carried to the small babies who take birth. Around 80.4% of the married women, they participate very rarely in the family decision, because we are having male dominated society. Patriarchal values are given more importance. According to NFHS 4 report, 79.5% of the women, they are abused, they are highly scolded by their husbands. 33% of the women and 28% of the men, they have a very low body mass index than the minimum which is required. 79% of the children between 15 to 35 months, 56% of the women aged between 15 to 49 years, and 24% of the men of the similar age, and 58% of the pregnant women, they are all suffering from food shortage and malnutrition. According to the latest National Family Health Survey 2015 and 16, 70.4% of the children between the age of 6 to 35 months, they are all suffering from anemia. Children who suffer from this sort of anemia are from the families that are below poverty line. In order to provide health security, these families are receiving provisions from the public food distribution system, which is nothing but rationing. You might have heard about ration shop where the food is distributed. So in a nutshell, in conclusion, we can say that malnutrition is a very serious problem, and every government and every organization working in the field of development should aim at solving this malnutrition problem. So here is a picture. When a child do not get a proper calories of food, it is going to suffer with number of diseases. Here you can see the abnormality of the child. See, there will be a medical depression, there will be a sickness due to malnutrition, obesity may be there, the body may be very skinny. So you can see here, you can count the bone of the child over here, and anemic babies, they are all the results of malnutrition. Now let us talk about another important social problem, that is about gender discrimination. So both male and female, they are not treated equally, which is referred as a gender inequality. Gender is a concept that is used to describe men and women. This denotes not only the biological features of a man or woman, it also includes the cultural, behavioral, and social layers of life. It includes the status of each in the social hierarchy. It is very commonly we understand that gender from the women's perspective only, but in the developmental context, gender is used to study the issues which are related to women, because women and children are the one who are usually left behind in the developmental process. Don't you think so? Hence, it becomes very important to understand the development from the gender perspective. Now let us see which are the different types of gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is present not only in India but all over the world. But the nature of discrimination is not same everywhere. It is the complex whole of numerous social issues. Amartya Sen, great economist, he identifies the following as the broader gender-based inequality which exists between men and the women. Now let us see the different types. Firstly, inequality in birth rate. In patriarchal society where the father is the head of the family, preference is given for the male child than the female child. As a result, gender-based feticide is a common practice in most of the countries, and especially we see this difference inequality in South Korea, China, Singapore and in Taiwan. Second type is inequality in infrastructure. Many times demographic facts would be very favorable to women, but discrimination gets expressed in a different ways, especially in the countries which are belonging to Asia, Africa and South America. The girls have less access to school than the boys. The girls are denied to school. The girls are not allowed to participate in any developmental program. The next type of gender discrimination is inequality in opportunities. Though inequalities are not apparent in the basic education, which is not very visible, but it would be more clear when it comes to higher education. The opportunities for women are very less in the higher education when compared to men. This is more true in the countries like Europe and in North America. So here is a picture, you can see a cartoon which is showing that the women are having lot and lot to do, and whereas the men, they have very less work at home, and the women has to take the whole responsibility. Next type of gender discrimination is inequality in ownership. What does it mean? Inequality in the ownership is more seen between men and the women in all kinds of societies. Gender discrimination is very clear, especially when it comes to the ownership of land and house ownership. As a result, women cannot participate in some of the economic activities as well as in the social activities. Though this discrimination is widespread, the nature of the discrimination changes from region to region. Let us take the example in India. Inheritance of property is always favorable to male children, whereas in Kerala's Nair family, there we have a matriarchal family where the mother is the head of the family. There, the inheritance rights of the property rest in the hands of the women. As per the decisions of the court and the laws, women can also claim equal right in the property now. So, there is no question of higher or lower concept. As per our law, court, both male and female, they are equal. So, the next type of gender inequality is inequality in family. Gender-based discrimination is very evident in the family structure also. Again, this is expressed in different ways in different societies. Gender discrimination is not only apparent in some of the families, not only very clear in some families, but it is not apparent in some of the families, but it is found in the sharing of family work burden and role and in the nourishment of the children. Here we can see the cartoon picture. Girl means she has to stick to the domestic work, she has to rear the children, she has to look after the kids, she has to do the cooking and all that, whereas the man, he can go to play, he can work on his own whims and the fancies. So here is a question. Is a human fight not a female fight? Gender equality is not only a fight of a female, but it is a human fight.